We don't need inflation. We need inflation on the salaries that we get paid. Like the video if you agree, dislike if you disagree. Shout out to the homie Bladed Angel. Come on, check
now
this.
Now more than ever, we are overworked and underpaid, especially in 2026 with rising grocery prices, ballooning gas costs, and even our own transportation to get to the job that we work at to make money that we need to live is getting...
Damn, it's no longer 9 to 5, right? Because you gotta actually wake up early, prepare, get your ass to the shower. Some people don't take showers though, so... I guess we can minus out those dudes, but you gotta take shower. Come on, guys, right? But exactly, it's not 9 to 5. You need to wake up before, prepare, go to work, and then on your way back, it also takes time to get back home. So it's not 9 to 5. It's more like 7 to 7, right? Come on.
More overpriced than ever. I already talked about the job that we work at to make money that we need to live is getting more overpriced than ever. I already talked about cars in my overpriced car epidemic, which you can check out after this video. But for now, let's focus on the overworked and underpaid epidemic.
Why can't we get by in this country anymore?
I guess we need to change from epidemic to pandemic though, because it's a pandemic. It's like everywhere. I demand better wages. I demand we cut inflation. We put inflation on the actual salary that actually matters for the people. Let's do it for the people.
We're just working one job.
Stop overworking and getting underpaid. Because best believe if something was to happen to you, you will be replaced the next business.
Facts. Facts, 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 facts.
Chapter 1. The Overworked. Also, it's not like Gen Z and Millennials aren't trying. Millennials are the most educated generation in human history. Yeah, I know us Gen Z screwed up the Flynn effect with the whole bringing down the IQ because of all the doom scrolling. But regardless, humankind as a whole is still more educated than ever, especially the current young adult workforce. Yet despite the massive abundance in college degrees, over 1.9 million graduates, yes, graduates, not dropouts, are unemployed.
Gen Z is facing the worst entry-level job market in nearly 40 years, with 2/3 of all entry-level roles filled by those with over 7 years of work experience. And with most employers not even considering hiring recent grads, AI is projected to eliminate 50% of all entry-level roles just within the next 4 years.
And we've done episodes on the AI as well, right? And listen, I guess the AI thing started off with a good idea, with the light of hope, right? We heard that they're gonna use AI to cut down all the boring tasks, the mundane tasks, you know, the life grinding or whatever. There's another term to describe it. The life sucking, you know, the tasks that suck our souls out. Yeah, it's gonna help us with that. It's gonna improve our lives. We're gonna use it to enhance the experience, but apparently they're saying they're gonna use it to replace all of us. Yeah, right? I mean, that's that's crazy. I mean, who would have thunk? Who would have thunk?
And this time, it isn't just the gender studies degrees. Even STEM is getting smacked in the face of a huge dose of corporate AI slop as more and more interviews are complete waste of time. More job listings are just completely fake. The entire system is run by what feels like ghosts, and applicants are sent on this wild goose chase of submitting hundreds to even thousands of resumes just to hear nothing back.
We had a story that we covered in a news video in Canada. It happened in Canada. Apparently, a marketing degree holder that came out straight from the university, she apparently applied she sent out 200 applications, deadass, and she heard back only from one. And she didn't get full-time job. She got part-time job. 200 to 1 and still not a full-time job. It's looking bleak, man. It's looking bad out there.
Unemployment is now a fate that awaits almost 6% of new college graduates each year. Last year, I already made a video talking about college underemployment in my blue collar video, but guess what? It's gotten worse since then. This isn't to say that we should all just stop going to university, but I highly suggest that people who do want to go down that route still, you should take foundation courses in a community college for the first 2 years, because that's just going to save you a ton of cash and a ton of student loan debt.
Honest to God, bro, like, education is such a scam, bro. Back in the days, it was something I guess you needed, because they will never teach you to work for yourself. They will always teach you to slave for another company or under somebody, right? And they will never teach you the taxes, how to reduce the taxes and all that legally, obviously, right? Come on now, guys, right? They will never teach you stuff that actually matters. They will never teach you survival skills.
It's crazy that it's that low of a percent to get a job that actually related to your degree. Like, generally, if World War III starts, more people end up being employed because at least being drafted still means I got a job. So here most of us are, working odd jobs just to make ends meet and throwing the tiniest bucket filled with droplets of water at the massive $1.6 trillion of student loan debt. Hell, some of us are even working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. I know some people who work both the closing and opening shifts at places, barely getting by on 4 to 6 hours of sleep, cracked out of their minds on caffeine, and completely empty and devoid of hopes and dreams. A meager 10 to 20% of Gen Z feel hopeful about their finances, with 70% of us having a negative view of the current economy, and 39% of us would describe our financial situation as terrible, nearly double the 21% statistic of other generations. It's no wonder some people in Gen Z just doom spend. They don't think there's anything
I got you with some tips, wait for it.
waiting for them in the future, so they just enjoy what they have now, even if it's racking up tons and tons more debt. I don't condone this, by the way, and I'm gonna say this to prevent this video from being all doom and gloom, because something people need to realize is, at the end of the day, an economy can't permanently go down. There's a
Okay, let me actually hit you guys up with some tips, okay? Because these politicians got us like that, bro. They got us, bro. So to save money and to win in life, stay with your parents, okay? And that I'm being dead ass right now. I'm being dead ass, okay? Stick with your parents if your parents are cool with it. Save all the money. You can obviously contribute a little bit, okay? Contribute, but it's gonna be less than if you were living by yourself, because rent price is crazy, right? So help your parents out, live with them, and if they're cool with that, live with your parents, and save as much money as possible, and invest that money in good stocks. If you're not confident about the stocks, you can just literally invest in indexes, S&P 500 index, Nasdaq, and all that. Not financial advice, but generally speaking, historically speaking, they always go up. Yes, they do crash, okay? Sometimes they crash like crazy, but then they always get back up. Even after World War I, World War II, they climb back up. And then, you know, let's talk about what you can minus and all that, okay? Let's talk about strategies here, guys. If you don't need a car, don't buy it. Don't buy a car. If you need a car, if you're a DoorDash driver, honest to God, just get a used secondhand car like this boy right here, okay? Deadass, bro, you're gonna save a lot of money on the gas, and you're gonna be delivering food left and right like crazy. You're gonna be like a psycho at it, and you're gonna get the job done fast. Number 1, get you that car if needed. Otherwise, don't even get a car, okay? Because these politicians, you know, they got us all. Don't get a car, or get this one, cheap, effective, fast, saves gas, and improves your life. Secondly, flush only once a day. Saves water. Okay, now scratch that part. Scratch that. And try to not eat that much, I guess, right? Yeah. I guess, bro.
higher chance of humankind literally going extinct than a permanent downturn. The reality is the market has to come back, or heck, the 4 recessions that Gen X and older millennials lived through, right? I know.
Nah, please, we cannot go through another recession, bro. Recession, bro.
They're looking at us and they're going, that's cute. They're going through their first recession. But the reality is they're still kicking, and humankind as a whole is still kicking. Therefore, I don't condone taking hundreds of thousands of credit card, auto loan debt, and other various goofball purchases. Having said that, looking at Gen X and older millennials, while I say that they're kicking, it's only sort of. I mean, it looks like they're kind of trying their best, and most of them have honestly just tuned it out at this point, because I have seen the posts of you guys closing your eyes on the highway and letting a semi-truck end it all, and I just want to ask, you guys okay? Like, we chill here? You good? Are we all just suffering right now in this economy? Is everyone in this boat right now except for boomers? Like, we're cooked. Bosses, politicians, and our elders would rather squeeze every last penny out of us on their way out, even turning multiple segments of our economy into dedicated funnels for our money going straight to them, be it their healthcare, their retirement, their 4th vacation home in Fiji, and their investments, which, by the way, the stock market. I don't care if it hasn't said we're officially in a recession yet. It's the same 7 asshole AI companies trading this.
That is so true, though. That is so true. But it's one of those things, right? Either get with the system or left behind. Guys, listen, you know, the life is a game right now, bro. Obviously, your life matters. Our life matters, right? It's not a game. Your life is not a game. But these politicians and these corporate heads and these fucks are actually treating it like that. So it's one of those things, right? What's the saying? Like, I know the saying, but it's not coming up right now. Either join us or be against us, or some bullshit. Okay, it's probably gonna come back, but you know, you gotta play the game by their rules, bro. So don't hate the player, hate the game, essentially. So you gotta like invest it, bro. Invest in good stocks, because that's the only way out, bro. Because yeah, the future looking kind of bleak.
same lump of cash to each other on each other's balance sheets.
The entire market is being carried by a few firms speculating about.
And also, though, you need to, if you're gonna invest in the stock market, trust me, if you're a newbie, you're probably gonna lose money. I remember losing $5,000 when I first invested. Obviously, I made like tons more back over the years, but you got to be very disciplined. I'll just give you like this a quick little example. So I invested my father's money. Okay, I got my father to invest some money. He's obviously retired, and I invested, and guess what, 2 days later, I kid you not, no exaggeration, I invested like 15k Canadian for him, right? And 2 days later he lost $200. And I was like trying to comfort him and all that. Yo, daddy, it's fine, it's okay, it's gonna be all right. He was freaking out. He was like, yo, pull that money out. Oh my god, it was as though the sky was falling for him. Deadass, I'm not even exaggerating, bro. I'm not even exaggerating. The sky was falling for him, literally, because he invested, and 2 days later, he lost $200. And I was telling him, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Month later, he made $150 on him. The investment, and he was smiling, he was happy, and then it started going down a little bit, coming back up. So I was explaining to him, like, it's fine, daddy, it's all right, like, it's gonna go back up, you just gotta give it enough time. And that made me realize that yes, that was me too when I first invested, and that's like literally all of us, right? Because it always is one of those things that making $1 is whatever, but losing $1 is painful though. So that is, I guess, really grained in our psyche and in our. So yeah, I don't blame anybody. Like, if you're somebody that invested and you had a negative experience, I trust me, I understand. But you also gotta take responsibility for it, and you don't want to invest in something that you don't understand. If you don't understand, you're not confident about it, don't even invest. It's better that you don't invest than to invest in something like a crypto or any stock out there that you don't understand and then lose it all. You don't want to gamble like that. Yeah, investing is different than gambling. And gambling is different than investing. So, but if you're somebody that is like, yeah, man, I want to learn how to make money. Yes, man, I want to actually do better for myself 5-10 years later. Because yes, guys, it's not going to be an overnight success. For some people, very few though, less than 1%, they're gonna get those sixers out there. They're gonna get those wowzers, and they might actually become a millionaire overnight. But for majority of the people in the stock market, it's a long game though. And I would say if you're a newbie at it, stay far away from day trading, because day trading, that's a different beast. You're gonna lose all your hair. Trust me, man. You're gonna lose all your hair. But if you, over time, that's another skill though, so I'm not gonna get into that. You need to learn that if you want to, but I don't even recommend that, because most people, they make a lot of money by holding good companies for the long term. But yeah, I don't want to bore people that are not into the stock market. I mean, for those of you that are into it, you might be geeking out over this segment, but those of you that don't care, I got it. Let's continue.
About the future of AI. And every day, it just looks like this whole game is being held together by tech CEOs passing around the same pile of money to make their numbers look good.
To make it look like the economy is still working when it's long become a zombie being puppeteered by the rich for the rich. Just look at all the other corporations that are even going bankrupt right now. Like, it's getting so bad.
2025 just finished off the year with the highest number of large corporate bankruptcies ever outside of an official recession.
We are all feeling the burn, other than literally a fraction of a fraction, like a top 0.01% of people who are puppeteering it all. It's no wonder some people just want to watch the world burn.
All you had to do was pay us enough to live. There goes your inventory.
Chapter 2, The Underpaid. There is nothing more dangerous than a man who has nothing left to lose. I want to make it very clear. I do not condone acts of vandalism, and especially not arson that can bring potential harm to others, and it's genuinely a miracle no one was hurt. I also think what he did was still de facto in the wrong, because he took away several of the jobs of his coworkers who obviously can't show up to work anymore because it's a burned down warehouse. Having said that, while I don't justify his actions, I do feel bro's rage. This was likely someone who used to be...
That is crazy. I'm about to be 30 soon. I'm 29. So, damn, bro, we getting effed in the ass right now with zero lube, bro. It is crazy, though. Now, God bless, though, like, God has been very kind to me, though. So I got no complaints other than the taxes, obviously, right? The taxes here in Canada are crazy, bro. Like, if you're making $100, you gotta give 50 to the government, right? Now, obviously, that tax bracket is not true for everybody, but it is true for me, unfortunately, or fortunately, because but no complaints though. No complaints other than the tax complaint. But Yeah, man, but it really is insane because I remember the rent prices weren't this bad. Economy was, a dollar mattered. A dollar actually was worth something. Now a dollar is nothing, bro. You give a dollar to a homeless guy, right? No disrespect, obviously, but you try to help like a homeless out, you give a dollar, he will slap you quite literally. And I understand, because a dollar is worth nothing. So yeah, like what the actual hell, man. And quickly though, I gotta take a second to shout out you guys, especially the homie Solidius, Ryan, the homie Eric Nance for becoming a brand new member. Shout out to the homie Eric, Matt, Crimson, still an X-File, as well as the homie Mr. Braps. I actually saw, let me refresh here. I saw the big homie Cody. Shout out to the big homie Cody for the 5. Mr. M. Braps, Early William, and Earl William, the homie Williams, let's just say, and the big homie Chris. Thank you guys so much for all the love and for the blessings, man, for the super thanks, for the tips, for the memberships. Appreciate the love, gang. Let's get back to the disaster.
Reasonable, but has hit their last straw. He's not some career criminal or some teenage punk. The reason people related to him was because they could see themselves in his shoes. At the end of the day, he just wanted to live.
Don't condone it, but people saw themselves in his shoes.
Living wage. Despite things being more expensive than ever, the minimum wage hasn't moved since 2009, and roughly 20% of jobs still pay less than $15 an hour. And before someone says, but raising the minimum wage will raise inflation, mother trucker, that shit hasn't moved since 2009, and we still got inflation. Also,
we need inflation on the salary.
Same at mother truckers who act like we've never raised wages for, oh my god, don't raise wages, it raises inflation. We have literally been raising wages through
lower the taxes and inflate the crap out of our salaries
throughout history until Gen Z entered the market and wages stagnated like crazy.
If you only want to work 4 hours, it's going to be harder for you to get a house. We busted our behinds. We had to bust.
And the minimum wage.
Dog, you can work 16 hours now and it's still gonna be super hard to get the house. So auntie, like, don't give us that bull
It's gonna be harder for you to get a house. We busted our behinds. We had to bust.
And the minimum wage in 1980 was $3.10. It is now $7.25. However, rent was $243 on average. Now it is $1,900 for a 7.8 times increase.
Damn, that is crazy. Yeah, when I first came in Canada, like, I remember like the 2006 era, right? Oh man, those were easy times, though. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Our rent was like around 500 Canadian for 4.5. We call it 4.5 here. And now the same place that I'm living, it has jumped up to 1,500. Oh shit! So it tripled.
The median house price was $47,000. It is now $419,000. And
but in my case though, fortunately, because we didn't left this place here, so we're paying like $760 per month. So yeah, that's a blessing though. If we leave the same area here, same place that I'm at, it's gonna be $1,550 or $1,600 or $1,500. That's the range. And yeah, so we started by paying like $500. Now we're paying $760. But if we leave, $1,500 easy. So it is really insane here. And I'm talking about an area that the area that I'm living in, and that's like far away from downtown though. So in downtown, I have a buddy that lives there. He was thinking about moving, and that was like a year ago at this point, right? I met that guy in an acting class, by the way. So yeah, I've been building my acting portfolio behind the scenes because I'm actually interested. It's a different game. It's I love that, right? So I'm behind the scenes. I'm working on that too, alongside YouTube and stock market and other stuff, right? So you gotta have like 2, 3, 4, 5,000 jobs at this point, right? I'm interested by you guys as well. Like, what do you guys like? Let me know, what do you do for a living? If you don't mind me, obviously, put it in the comments. But yeah, so he was living. I think he's still there. I don't know, right? But a year ago, he was living in downtown, and he was telling me, and I asked him, right? He was telling me he was paying $3,000 a month. Oh, shit. And downtown, I mean, we all understand downtown is gonna be expensive, but I mean, holy shit. $3,000 Canadian, by the way, Canadian dollars, by the way. And most people, they don't make $3,000 a month here. Some would make $3,000 or $5,000, or not $5,000, but $4,000. Imagine making that much normally, because that's like the normal salary, and then you have to pay $3,000 in rent. Shit, that's holy crap! Like, that's insane.
The big one, college, was $2,300. It is now $30,000, 13 times more. And the big one, college, was $2,300. It is now $30,000, 13 times more expensive.
They call us lazy and quiet quitters, but the reality is most of Gen Z adults still clock into 8-hour shifts full time. But the difference is how little modern paychecks go in this struggling economy. So despite working the same amount of hours, not less, the same, we have less purchasing power than ever, which takes us back to the overworked in chapter 1. Why a lot of people take more than one job. Most of us,
everyone is working the hardest they can in their own way. We're all working hard, so we're all working hard in our own ways, right? So to say that you gotta work hard, come on, get the hell out of here. And obviously our elders, no disrespect though, if you're let's just say if you're a middle-aged mom, middle-aged man, father of 3 kids or no kids, I don't know, like maybe you're a grandpa watching, grandma, maybe you're retired. We all worked hard, right? Like you probably worked your ass off when you were young, right? We all worked hard in our own ways. So it's just I know some people would say that you gotta work harder and all that. We're all working hard, and I'm sure our elderly also worked hard in their own way back in those days, right? We all did work hard, but it just happens to be that back then it was much easier in comparison to today. But and in other ways though, you know, there are more the same is also true. There are more opportunities online to make money, but I get it, not everybody want to be an online content creator. I would definitely recommend that any of you that are watching, like somehow you you can start YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, Facebook, whatever. I would recommend YouTube though, because YouTube pays a lot more than TikToks, because on TikToks you would need a lot of views, right? YouTube is just much better overall in terms of making money. So I mean, I get it, not everybody want to be a content creator, but in this day and age though, if you want to have a side hustle, I would definitely recommend something like YouTube, right? Do YouTube. So maybe you want to be a dropshipper. I get it, not everybody want to do that, but hey man, listen, if you want to survive, if you want to do well, you got to be an entrepreneur now, or you got to come in with that mindset though. So think about it your future. I mean, you're not going to be successful like overnight, but you know, you can build it out slowly but surely, and then hopefully because you have been so consistent at it, you can actually quit your job and do what you love, because it's all about like doing what you live, but they don't want us doing what we love.
Us aren't asking to live on minimum wage like some of them did. We know it's not a permanent career, but for Christ's sake, is it too much to ask for a higher living wage, to have our wages match the rate of inflation? Even when they do raise our wages, by the way, they end up cutting tens of thousands of jobs and replacing them with AI and robots wherever they can.
Right. AI is starting to come for jobs, and this is living proof. We're going to start at number 10, which is Dell, which has 12,000 employees laid off.
Oracle.
And the stock of Dell, I don't know like what's the price now. It probably would have crashed a little bit or came down a little bit, but damn, I remember it jumped like 30%. So if you had like 100K invested in that stock, I didn't. I wish somebody told me that. If you had 100K invested in that, that was 30 grand, easy peasy lemon squeezy overnight. So yeah, those people that knew, they knew, but others did not.
Lays off 30,000 employees, then offers $29.7 million pay package to the new CFO.
These hypocrites at the top completely forgot how easy they had their life when they were young and in their 20s, and were not entitled for asking for the same American dream that they had growing up. In fact, we just want a fraction of it. I don't even need as big of a house.
Canadian dream has been dead for a long time. American dream, I guess, y'all are also finding out right now. So unfortunately, this is one of those things I don't want anybody finding out, bro. Like this is
also as nice of a car as them. I don't even need a car. In fact, just anything in the American dream.
I don't even have a car, by the way. You know, the reason I don't is because like I don't need it. So
bro, having not having crippling medical debt right now is an American dream for me. Like things like this will keep happening if people feel disgruntled, underpaid, and hopeless for the future. I said this in my bad driver epidemic, but I'll say it here again. Why are the rich and the old taking away the futures of the young and healthy? A healthy economy functions on a strong youth in the workforce, not the other way around, because young people are literally required to work because they're the ones who can work, and old people, they need us for their retirement, which it blows my mind why they treat us so poorly then. These punks are just private equity cum dumpsters for billionaires to jerk off and invest into. They're playing with people's lives, and they even have the audacity to move into the content creator space on YouTube. Nothing is safe from billionaires. Every hustle is dead. They want to maximize every single penny of profit in every industry, even creative industries. You know who's not owned by private equity? My channel. I spent 5 years battling cancer and spending over $250,000 before finally entering remission. I've never once asked my audience for a single penny. I don't blame Reddit in 2020.
Damn, good on you, brother. Like, I didn't know that. Damn.
For criticizing my voice for being monotone and my videos for being lazy, since I wasn't open about my illness then. However, I'm not going to be mad at these people because I wasn't open about my illness until very recently. So
we're all fighting our own demons though, yo. So we're all fighting battles though.
So do not harass them. In fact, now that I've gotten healthier, I still went out of my way to listen to their criticisms. Make better thumbnails? You bet. Make longer videos? Now I have the energy so I can. Make better edited videos? Yup, absolutely. Don't sound completely monotone? I'm trying. But the scars still remain, and at the end of the day, part of it is genetics and DNA about how we sound, right? I'm never going to reach Haggerty or Car Trek levels of quality. I want to be completely transparent, and I've accepted that. I still edit all of my videos myself. I'm the sole owner of this channel. I do not have editors or team, but I should probably
man, editing videos, I know the struggle, bro. I edited videos for like a decade plus and ended up getting glasses. Now I gotta wear these glasses. Obviously I don't wear it at home, but when I go outside I do wear the glasses, right? So bro, I know. Oh shit, taxes. Somebody said you run a small business, why don't you have a CPA doing your taxes, bro? That's so me, bro. I have been doing my own taxes for the longest amount of time, and now that I'm actually getting effed in the ass right now by CRA of Canada, I'm actually like speaking with currently though I'm speaking with like multiple different CPAs and all that. It's a hassle, bro. It is a hassle. If you're a CPA in Canada, please, man, please help a brother out, man. Hit me up in the emails, skizzlex@gmail.com. Please don't scam me or anything. I should not be saying that. Yeah, don't hit me in the emails, because yeah, how would I know, right? How would I know who to trust, right? Exactly. You're in a song. I should probably hire a CPA though. Lol. Yeah, no, you should. Even that's note to self as well. I need to as well.
Hire a CPA like this guy mentioned, and I absolutely appreciate you guys sitting through the occasional sponsors I have. I'm still an honest-to-God YouTuber, not a corporate tuber, and especially not a
I would think I am as well to a certain degree, okay? And I am to a full degree. I am to a full degree. I just don't know how it comes across to you guys. I just try to like keep it lighthearted and all that. Listen, man, at the end of the day, it's the end of the day. And that's what I always say. At the end of the day, it's the end of the day, bro.
Private equity shill. To any new viewers, while you're here, why not subscribe as we all struggle through this economy together? I slowly built my way out of $250,000 of medical debt, brick by boring brick. So whatever awaits us ahead, just know I'm in the trenches down here with.
Damn, he got us all. Like, he's like, okay, all that just for a subscription? All that talk just... No, obviously I'm subscribed to the homie. Definitely subscribe, guys. Shout out to Bladed Angel.
You. And while we're down here, the least I can offer is some epidemic slop to make your time at work, school, or lunch a bit less boring. Anyways, thanks so much again for supporting this channel. On to chapter 3.
I just had an order pop up that said, oh, this order is 45 items for $7.
You guys gotta understand, like, door dashing is just a dead end street. I mean, it's just not what it used to be, like, at all.
The hustle is dead. A lot of people are actually losing money in the side hustles they currently work in. For example, like wasting more gas idling their car as they get less and less Uber Eats.
I guess the better advice is to don't even get the car that I showed earlier. You want to be like using an electric scooter or something like that. But even then, I don't know if it's going to be profitable, or probably will be, but maybe not crazy money though. Yeah, look into like selling stuff on eBay, on Amazon, right? That could be one of the side hustles. Yeah, you would have to, there's a learning curve, but once you have set everything up, I think that can like literally overtake your current earnings from like work, right? Like just have multiple different side hustles, just work at it daily, a little bit daily, every day, learn, get better, adopt, and you know, this, that, the other, and over time you're going to develop it, and hopefully like you're going to be able to quit those painful jobs, right?
Eats orders coming in.
I've been sitting in my car for 2.5 hours and haven't done anything, haven't made any money, so there you go. I have 5 stars. I'm a diamond cart, which is the highest level you can get. I get priority access to orders.
Side hustle culture and the gig economy is dying at a rapid rate, and this makes sense when you consider doing DoorDash or Uber Eats for extra cash on the side isn't going to work when most people don't have any more cash to order food or take regular Ubers to concerts or airports from traveling, because no one has money to do any of those things, so then people can't make money from doing those things either.
This would mean that even if there were no changes in how this revenue was divided up, there is simply less money per driver even without considering inflation. But by understanding these numbers, you can see how this can very quickly become a dangerous feedback loop, especially if these customers can no longer justify spending twice as much on their food to have it hand-delivered across town.
Even sadder is inflation. Despite being back on track to its normal 3%-ish yearly rates, that just plainly doesn't feel true. Many goods have de facto gone up 10% in front of our eyes within a few months. Take a look at the PS5, for example. Last year, it got a $100 price increase from tariffs, only to get another $150 price increase from...
That is insane, though. For a console that's like 6 years old, usually for gaming consoles, they get cheaper over time. They get cheaper over time, but not this time, though.
RAM prices. Fucking chips, for example. I swear to God, these were like $3.99 for a huge family-sized bag just a couple years ago. Then I blink, and suddenly a single bag of chips costs more than the US minimum wage.
Well, just regular Doritos.
That's $8.49 USD. Whoa, bro. I was gonna... what the hell? Yeah, play that Dolby sound effect, not the Detective Dokes one from Dexter. Holy crap, that's insane. I mean, I've seen prices bad here in Canada, but obviously $8.49 USD, that's easy, like 12 Canadian.
$9 a bag.
$7.29 for one bag of Ruffles.
That's insane.
Are you kidding? And before you say, oh, that was the party size, the regular size is $6.
Let that sink in. An hour of work buys you a snack in this economy, not
Holy
even a meal. And you're gonna have me believe that inflation is on track to being 3% yearly? Kiss my ass. What's crazy is barely 10 years ago in 2016, you could still buy several burgers for $1 each. I'm
burgers.
Not hallucinating this. I remember literally using a $5 bill in high school back then to get our food, blasting chain smokers closer as me and the boys are packed into a tiny car after club. That $5 bought all five of us a single burger.
Dang, I know, facts. $5 used to matter, bro. Nowadays, even $100, like, you go out with $100, you come back with minus 100. Bro, what the hell? Yeah, it's bad, bro.
Burger each. I do not want to hear this being called gradual inflation when it basically was a night and day shift. Most of us still feel like we just woke up one day and everything just costed 4 times more than it used to.
In January of 2020, I paid $70.20 for 30 items. I added all of them into the cart again and repurchased them today. Today, those 30 items were $165.42.
Dang, more than double. 70 times 2, 140, right? So this is 165. What the hell? More than double.
That is a $95.22 price increase in 4 years' time. That's a 135.6% inflation percentage.
But I'll save my rants on various consumer goods for a future video called The Overpriced Everything Epidemic. And if you'd like to see that, then make sure to like this.
It's looking rough, and what this guy said in this video here about what's coming next for all of us is even more diabolical and just strange and pathetic and just sad. Click here to check it out, and I'll see you right there. Yeah, check out this video on the screen.